Hi there, guys. Are you on the fence with regards to an EV? Are you someone who's looking at the fuel prices and going, oh my gosh, this is too much? Or are you in the lookout for an early Christmas gift? I'm here to make a case for one of Australia's most beloved EVs. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the National Tesla and the Gong. Let's do this. Now, say hello to the facelifted Tesla Model Y, also called the Juniper Tesla Model Y. You've probably seen this for a few months now here in Australia, but I have a specific reason for making this video now because Christmas is right around the corner and it may be useful to buy this car right now. Now, this is not really a brand new vehicle, although Tesla likes to call it a new Tesla Model Y. This is more like a deep refresh of the existing Model Y. And I am the owner of a Tesla Model Y Performance, so I know that there are a fair bit of differences between that and this. And this is definitely world's best-selling car of any type. As of 2025 September here in Australia, it is the best-selling EV as well. Now, this is quite a tough job because the EV sales aren't going as what it used to be, particularly with the Chinese competition. And these rivals do offer more range for less money. So the big question I want to answer is the updated Tesla Model Y still a benchmark SUV that you should buy? Let's see all about that in this video. I'm going to take you through the exterior changes, the interior changes, and what it's like to drive this car because I've had this loaner Tesla Model Y for about 3 weeks now, and I'm going to look at what are all the updates that has been fixed from the previous models, and we're going to see all that in just a bit. Now, the Tesla Model Y lineup here in Australia is 3. The first is the rear wheel Tesla Model Y, which is this vehicle. Here in New South Wales, this has an entry list price of $58,900 and a drive-away price of $64,120. The long range all-wheel drive, which has extended batteries and more features, has a list price of $68,900 and a drive-away price of $74,620. And the performance all-wheel drive has just been revealed at the Melbourne Everything Electric Show, which has a list price of $89,400 and a drive-away price of $96,145. And here in front of me is the rear-wheel drive, finished with the stealth grey and black interiors and a 19-inch cross-flow wheels. And we'll talk like I said, this is more like a deep facelift. The front has the most noticeable change with the new LED light strip which stretches across the front. It is designed more like the Cybertruck, with the bonnet being a little bit flatter and cleaner. And for the first time here in Australia, we do have a front-facing camera as well, giving it a proper front view, particularly when parking. And I'm going to show that to you in the video right now. So here we go. When we turn on the vehicle, the cameras do light up right away. And now it's saying, I'm trying to go back because I have the rear there. I can actually go forward as well. And that activates the front camera right there. So you can see it says front here, and actually I can even switch it from here manually to rear as well. And I can switch that to the front again. So that front camera is immensely useful. I'm just going to move forward a little bit. You see, that's immensely useful when you're trying to park in a tight spot, and you really can see that very well. And then when you turn to the rear, it just changes to the rear. And that is such a useful feature. You can see the difference between the new Model Y and the Model X over here. The gorgeous lights really come through at night, making it a distinct feature in the vehicle. Now, from the sides, there's not much changed except for these mirror caps, which is more aerodynamic and helps in the air distribution and also in the range. The colors have changed a little bit. There's a new Glacier Blue and the Ultra Red, which are premium options with this vehicle. The rear of the Tesla Model Y Juniper gets the most major redesign. The old split tail lamps are now gone and it's replaced by a wide full width light bar, which makes it a very sporty and distinct looking vehicle, which is easily recognizable here in Australia. And the good part is this little light bar, which is on the undersurface, actually shines on the Tesla, as I'll show you in the nighttime photographs and the nighttime pictures and the nighttime video. It actually causes a bit of an afterburner kind of effect at night, making it really, really cool at night. And this is also split into 3 different parts. As you can see, there is a top part over here. There is a bit of a bend there, and there's a center part, a third part here, and one more part at the bottom. So let's say you get into an accident, God forbid, and you hit this part. Only needs to be changed this part, as opposed to changing the entire trunk. That is a very, very good addition and makes for a cheaper repair as well, and that is important. Now, although this glass looks a little different and looks much larger and more panoramic, from inside there's not much change, to be honest, but still it does add to the overall aesthetic look of the car. And that now the biggest improvements are in the interiors. As we enter in, this has not changed much from our existing Model Y and Model 3. As we get inside, there has been massive improvements in the interior of the vehicle, making it quite a distinct addition, to be honest. You may think at first glance the cabin looks familiar, but once you're inside, you can see the differences are quite stark. There used to be sort of a cheesy looking wooden trim over here. That is now gone. We have soft woven fabric. It has a little bit of a suede-like material on the side as well, particularly in the door panels. And the center console is completely redesigned, as you can see. The materials are more premium. They feel much better. As a center console, you can have this, which opens up. And I have noticed that the center console is much deeper than before. We have these 2 cup holders, and we do have this particular cubby hole over here with a USB-C port right there. As you can see, it has a USB-C port here as well. These are 250 watts charger plates over here, where you can keep your phone and it starts to charge. As you can see, there it's starting to charge there. That's pretty good. And we do have a fabulous high resolution 15 inches screen. This is exactly similar to our previous screens, and the software is what we used to see as well. But as you can see, this particular interior looks absolutely gorgeous. If you are in for a minimalist look, nothing beats the Tesla Model Y. The interiors look really gorgeous, particularly at night. You can see that the ambient lights, the footwell lights, and the other lights, even in the cubby over here, all of them add to the gorgeous beauty of this interior. We do have the parking lights over here and interior lights over here, which are touch sensitive and also have a bright and dim function to these. Lots and lots of magnets are there in the vehicle. You can see magnets over here as well. So this is magnetized, and so is the glove box as well. So if you open the glove box, it opens like so, And instead of a latch, it only has a magnet there, which has a nice solid thud to it. Now coming to the steering wheel itself, I'm just going to go up a little bit to show you that the gear selector stock is completely gone. Very similar to the Highland Model 3 and Model Y. We do not have that. But all is not lost because there is the indicator selector which still is there. So there is some sort of a stock here. So it's not a completely stockless design, but this indicator stock is slightly different to our previous models. There is no, double step indicator selection. So previously when we used to do this, when we press down, there'll be a small selection where it is a minor turn. So it just turns on the indicator for a few seconds. But if you go all the way down, it turns on the indicator. But here it is only a single tap. It's a very small travel. And then the software decides whether it is a full turn or if it's a half turn. So the software is the one which determines that. And that gets a little getting used to, but it's not too bad. But when you turn on the indicator, obviously the repeater cameras turn on, giving you a little bit more visibility there, which is not bad at all. Now, the absence of the gear selector has been changed. I showed you a little bit earlier when you hit on the brakes, it brings up the gear selector here. You do have to select the gear, but Tesla has made it a bit of a software feature where it automatically selects the gear. When you hit on the brakes, so it automatically selects that it has to go forward and I can just start driving. That is pretty cool. I don't even have to hit that gear selector. The car recognizes that it is facing forward. It can't go rear because it has that red line which shows that. There you can see. And so I have to go forward and it automatically selected the gear for me. That is pretty cool indeed. Let's hit on park. Now we're actually facing forward. Now let's hit on the brakes. And you see the car automatically recognizes that I have to go rear. This whole thing is red. I can't go any further than that. Even if I hit on the camera, that's the front camera being activated. That's the rear camera. And now I'm just going to take a reverse turn and keep watching what it does. Once I've taken this turn, I hit on the brakes and then turn it to the side and it automatically activates the front gear selector for me automatically there. That is pretty sweet. Now, does it work 100% of the time? No. But does it work 95% of the time? Absolutely yes. And that is a cool thing. Now, this car does not have FSD, but I'm going to have some FSD features to show you. But this car does have auto park. And when I hit on that, it does do that. And it finds that parking. And it goes in and parks there. How cool is that? How cool is that? Now with FSD 14.1, which is there in the US counterparts, we don't have it here yet. We still added the 13.2.9. 14.1 does have auto park included in the FSD package as well. I do have some footage of FSD, which really is a game changer. Now coming to the seats, these are completely new. They're more supportive, definitely better bolstered, and it has ventilation, which makes it a massive difference in the hot weather. We can actually access that inside of the climate control. We can go in there and then we can look at the seats. So click on the seats and you can see it shows auto or heat or cool. So you can actually cool down the seats during the summer months. And that gives you the opportunity to actually take a black seat as well, because the black seats can take a lot of heat during the summer months. And because it's ventilated, you are okay to choose black. Some people like the white, some people like the black, but you can still choose the black without feeling that you may be burnt to cinders during the summer months. Here, the sidewell pockets are definitely deeper than before. This has been updated with better materials and slightly larger buttons, and it very clearly shows that this is an emergency exit, a mechanical exit at that. And when you open that, it even shows you that manual release was used. It may cause damage to the door trim, so we should not be using this. We should be using this to alight and get out of the vehicle. As you heard, that thud was quite a bit different from our previous Model Ys, because the materials are better, double pane glass as well, and it has been improved. You can also see there is a light strip which goes all the way around and goes onto the rear as well, which is pretty cool, making it a beautiful addition. These lights can obviously be changed as well. The light colors can be changed as well. So if you go into lights, and then you can change these light colors into whatever you want. Orange, click on the orange button and it's changed to orange. If you want to go into blue, you can change to blue, and so on and so forth. You can also sync it with your music, which is pretty cool. You can sync lights with music, and you can sync lights with music, also match the album art. So a little bit of a self-plug. This is my own composition, Dr. Nash, Kadal Travels. So you can see that the lights are now reflected based on the album art as well, which is actually pretty cool. And then when you start playing the music, I'm going to turn down the volume to not have a content strike on myself. When you play the music, the light strips will start getting activated based on the music. You can see it's starting to flash based on the song. This rear seat comfort is one of the best advantages of the Model Y. It is massive. I am a large man, 5'9", and you can see I do have enough and more storage. And then I can go into the middle seat as well, and it is fairly good. It is not a bucketed seat because there is a armrest behind me, which I'm going to show you. The middle seat is slightly uncomfortable, particularly for long drives. But otherwise, the legroom is absolutely gorgeous. And there is an 8-inch screen in the rear as well, which lets the passengers to adjust the climate control. I'm going to close the door, and I'm going to activate that so people can activate the climate control from here. They can change the fan speeds. They can change the direction of flow as well from there, or they can turn off the AC as well. And it has other features, so you can actually control the music from here. I can play the song from here too, and you see that starting to flash based on the song. There we go. You can play some games, and you can change the settings with changing the brightness. You can add a separate Bluetooth device so children can actually watch something here and you guys can enjoy something there as well. They can use a Bluetooth device to listen to music, or you can sync these two screens so both the brightnesses are similar. There's one more feature. If you go into the seat section, you can actually change the front seat. You can move the passenger seat all the way to the front and improve the space for somebody here. If you do not have a passenger sitting there, you can always bring it back as well. There we go. As I was telling you, there is a cup holder in the middle, and that's what makes it a bit of a uncomfortable situation to sit in when you're in the middle seat, but children are not going to mind that too much. But if you only have 2 passengers in the rear, you can use this as a cup holder, and that adds value. When you come to this screen, there are 2 USB ports here, USB-C ports for charging over here. That's pretty good. And they also have a hard shell, sort of a magazine holder. And I believe that these are called the ISOFIX hooks as well to hang your coats here. And there's a light which is activated like so. We are talking about the rear seats. I'm going to show you something else. When you go into the seats, you can actually fold the rear seats from here. I'm just going to hit this so that I can show this to you in an easy fashion. Of course, you can turn on the heating and the cooling from here. All that is fine, but you can actually fold the seats. So keep watching, keep watching. I'm going to flip the camera around. Going to hit on this camera around, and you're going to see what's going to happen here. I'm going to hit on OK. So it pulls this down and brings that all the way forward. So what it did was it pulled this passenger seat a little bit in front, and then it brought that all the way down. I can do it for the other side as well. So this is a 3-2 staggered configuration. So it pulls this driver's seat forward, and it brought that back, and then this pushed back a little bit as well. That is so cool. Now if you want to unfold, it does the same thing. Keep watching the driver's seat now. Look at that. It brought the driver's seat forward, and then it unfolded that. I'm going to do that same for my side as well. It says that I'm sitting, but it doesn't matter. That's fine. So it pulls me, and then it does that unfolding too. So it is electronically operated and can be activated from the front as well as the rear screen. So you can do the same on the rear screen as well. So you can click on that, and I believe we can hit on fold somewhere there. Perhaps not. I thought we could do it from there as well. Sorry about that. If you guys know how to activate the folding mechanism from the back, do tell me about that on the comments. Now, if you've been watching this for thus far, please hit on the thumbs up button to give a like, and also subscribe to my channel as well. I do have lots and lots of videos. I have a very, very special video coming up at the end of this month, so do not. Now we look at the boot and the front storage, or the front trunk storage. We can open this by pressing on that button there, and that opens this out. And this can be set as well, so we can lift it up, and then we can set the amount that the lift happens. And there is also a parcel shelf there, which comes standard with these vehicles. So that is pretty good. And we can close with this. This is 822 liters in the rear trunk. We can open that like so. And we can also fold the seats from here. So you can hit on this so that electronically folds that seat, which is in a 2-3 staggered configuration. Pressing that will fold that seat as well. There we go. And same drill, pressing that again and pressing that again will open the seats back, unfold the seats back. Now what happens when we press both together? Oh, it doesn't do it. So I need to give it a bit of a lag. Now that is interesting. This can be a play tool for children. And I can become a kid myself. Now, if you want more storage, there is a sub frunk, and there are some side cubbies here to keep your milk bottles if you have to. So that is good. And we can now go on to the front and open the front trunk. And of course, we do have the Tesla app, which has so much functionality in it. Now opening the front trunk, there we go. This is not an electric frunk, but you can add a third-party electric frunk to this as well. And I do have lots and lots of videos of third-party electric frunks, which can be retrofit into this vehicle too. So this is a reasonably good frunk. As you can see, we can have like a golf bag or a cricket bag if you want to have that. And I understand that when we take this off, There is a vent here too, so you can actually keep this as a cooler, and this will sort of vent out fluid out as well. So that is a good addition that has been added. And there is a hook here too. That is something that Tesla gives with their vehicles. So it's a reasonably good storage in the front and in the trunk. Now, let's talk about driving. I must say, I am a performance Tesla Model Y owner, and I have noticed that this rear-wheel drive Tesla Model Y is actually pretty good to drive. It is definitely more smoother. I believe there is something called a frequency adaptive suspension on these vehicles, which makes it a much more smoother drive, and the suspension is far superior to what we had in our existing Tesla Model Y. So when I go here, hit on the brakes, okay, and then hit on parking, and now if I hit on the brakes again, it'll automatically recognize that I have to go take the reverse, and once I turn, I hit and then turn, and that activates the front, and that drives. So I really don't have to choose the gear selector, but much quieter, much better quality of driving in this new Juniper Tesla Model Y, making it a hugely important feature. I'm going to turn here and give you a few more thoughts before I sign off, because there are some pro tips that I want to share with you. Yeah, poor parking here, but there's nobody on this road, so I don't have much to worry about. The steering is definitely quicker and more sporty. It's calmer in the inside because of all the new materials that they've used, the dampening that the suede finishes give. That is really cool. I've already shown you the auto shift features. Now, before I go, I do have a pro tip for you. Why I tell you that now will be a good time to look at the Tesla Model Y is because it's December, and during the end of quarter, particularly in the Christmas quarter, Tesla traditionally gives a fair number of newbies or goodies to go with the car. For example, keep a watch out for the Tesla page, particularly the inventory page. The prices may be reduced from the 1st of December to get rid of existing inventory, and there is a fair bit of existing inventory, as you can see. So look out for that. Always look out for the demonstrator models. I do have a Tesla Model S, which is a demonstrator, and it's a great vehicle. There was no problems whatsoever. So it's not bad to buy a demonstrator because it comes with all the bells and whistles that Tesla gives you, and it also comes with the warranties as well, and it works beautifully, and the price is lesser than the drive-away price. So it's not a bad idea to keep on the watch out for a demonstrator model. These things drop and they fly within days. So if you are in the lookout for a Tesla Model Y, look out for the demonstrator models as well as any price reductions as well. Now, there is a bit of a drawback. No Apple CarPlay and Android Auto at this time, but it looks like Tesla may be putting that in a newer version. And the good part is because of the over-the-air software updates, you may get that feature in your Tesla very soon. So overall, this whole vehicle is deserved of its global success. It has more premium interiors, better ride comfort, a quieter cabin, cleaner design all around, if you like minimalism, that is, more tech, and it is a highly practical car to buy. Now, I think this remains as a compelling electric vehicle despite all the other Chinese vehicles that are out there. And if you are in the lookout for a Tesla, why not look at this? Now, all of that I told you just now gets obliterated if you get the full self-driving package, and you can actually get the full self-driving package right now, $149 a month, and that changes everything. I'll leave you with some footage of FSD here in Australia. This was recorded in a Highland Model 3, but the Model Y Juniper works just the same. I'll see you guys in the interesting video very soon. Until then, this is National Tesla and the Gong signing off. Peace. Do this. 3, 2, 1. day.